Look at this estate. Soaring vaulted ceilings. Massive black steel glass walls. Seamless indoor-outdoor living. Your brain is telling you this is a $5 million custom mansion. But what if I told you the actual cost to build this exact home, every square foot of it came in under $150,000? That is not a typo, and it is not a cheap metal shed slapped together with plywood. Welcome to the 2026 Barndominium revolution. Today we are going inside the design loophole that lets everyday people build mansion-level luxury on a fraction of the budget. I'm going to show you the engineering trick that makes these homes hurricane-resistant, the appraisal trap that blindsides first-time builders, the exact design hacks that create the wealth illusion, and the land-buying mistakes that can sink your build before you ever break ground. Before we unlock the front door, hit that like button, subscribe for more build breakdowns like this one, and drop a comment. Would you trade a traditional mansion for this? Now let's go inside. Volume over square footage. The secret to making a modest build look like a multi-million-dollar estate comes down to one word: volume. In a traditional stick-built home, a 24-foot vaulted ceiling means framing a roof and then framing a separate interior ceiling underneath it, doubling your material and labor cost. In a post-frame barndominium, the roof structure is the ceiling. Leave the engineered scissor trusses exposed, and you get architectural drama for a fraction of the price. You're not building a room. You're building a cathedral. The glass wall trick. Then there's the indoor-outdoor flow. These black-framed glass walls do the heavy lifting. In a custom mansion, a 20-foot bifold glass door system can run tens of thousands of dollars just in glass and hardware. Because barndominiums are already built on commercial-grade steel framing, integrating oversized glass openings into that same shell is comparatively affordable. Open them up on a summer evening, and your living room visually doubles in size. No wasted space. Because a barndominium is essentially one clear-span shell, you don't need load-bearing walls chopping up the middle of the house. Kitchen, living room, and dining area can share one continuous, open sightline. It's the reason an 1,100 square foot barndo can feel like it lives twice as big. Finishes that sell the illusion. And the finishes close the deal. Polished concrete floors with embedded radiant heat. Matte black hardware. Fluted wood accent walls. A stone-clad fireplace. None of it is exotic, it's just chosen deliberately, and in a post-frame shell, a lot of it is genuinely cheaper to install than the traditional home equivalent, because you're pouring one slab and running conduit through open framing instead of retrofitting finished walls. Post-frame, not a converted barn. People hear barndominium and picture a barn with a couch in it. That's a misconception. Modern barndos use post-frame engineering. Massive laminated wood posts or steel columns, embedded deep into the ground and spaced 8 to 12 feet apart, carrying the structural load. The walls don't bear the roof's weight, the posts do. That's a fundamentally different, and in many ways more resilient, load path than a traditional stick frame house relying on hundreds of individually nailed connections. Wind resistance. Here's something worth getting right. Post-frame buildings can be engineered to withstand extreme wind up to 150 miles per hour or more in high-velocity zones like coastal Florida, where code demands it. But that's the upper end of what's achievable with the right engineering, not the automatic baseline everywhere. Most of the US designs to a baseline wind speed closer to 90 to 115 miles per hour. The takeaway: post-frame construction can be built to serious hurricane-resistant standards, but the exact rating always depends on your local wind zone and what you pay your engineer to spec. The roof and the insulation. Metal roof is fireproof, hail-resistant, and typically lasts 40 to 70 years, some premium systems even longer. Compare that to asphalt shingles, which generally need replacing every 15 to 30 years. Pair that roof with closed-cell spray foam insulation in the wall cavities, and you get a genuinely airtight envelope. Closed-cell spray foam runs roughly 6 to 7 R-value per inch, versus about 3 per inch for standard fiberglass bats, meaning you get more than double the thermal performance in the same wall thickness, plus a built-in air and moisture barrier that helps prevent mold. So let's break down how a home like this actually lands under $150,000. The home you're looking at is roughly 1,100 to 1,200 square feet, modest on paper, but the vaulted ceilings and open sight lines are exactly what make it live much bigger. In 2026, a bare post-frame kit shell runs about $20 to $50 a square foot for materials and on-site assembly. That's your bones: framing, trusses, metal roofing, exterior siding. From there, interior finish-out insulation, plumbing, electrical, drywall, flooring, kitchen and bath fixtures is where the rest of the budget goes. A builder-finished barndo nationally runs somewhere between $65 and $200+ a square foot depending on finish level, with a mid-range, upgraded finish typically landing around $125 to $185 a square foot. For a build this size, keeping finishes efficient polished concrete instead of imported tile, a tighter kitchen footprint, doing some of the finished labor yourself is what keeps the total in the $130,000 to $170,000 range instead of climbing toward the national average total project cost, which sits closer to $230,000 for a typical build. Compare that to a traditional custom-built mansion of similar visual impact, which regularly runs $300 to $500 a square foot once you account for complex framing, custom millwork, and site-built ceiling structures. Same visual drama. Very different bill. Here's the part that catches almost every first-time Barndo builder off guard: the appraisal trap. Banks appraise homes using comps comparable recent sales nearby. If you build a barndominium in a neighborhood where every other home is a traditional stick-built house, the appraiser may struggle to value your home at what it actually costs to build, simply because there isn't enough Barndo sales data in the area yet. That can leave a gap between what you spent and what the bank will lend against, and you make up the difference in cash. The workaround: specialized barndominium and post-frame construction lenders exist specifically because this is a known issue. In rural areas, USDA single-close construction loans are a real, commonly used option built for exactly this kind of non-traditional build. Owning your land outright before you build also helps. Banks will often count that land equity toward your loan-to-value ratio, softening the appraisal gap. Local community banks that hold loans on their own books, rather than selling them to a federal underwriter, also tend to be more flexible. The shop-life balance. Because of post-frame engineering, adding an attached workshop or RV garage costs meaningfully less per square foot than adding an equivalent traditional room, mainly because shop space skips the insulation, HVAC, and interior finish standards that living space requires. For remote workers and hobbyists, that means a real workshop, home gym, or garage attached directly to the living space without a maze of hallways in between. Multi-generational living. The clear span layout also makes it easy to wall off a private wing, a self-contained suite with its own entrance and kitchenette for aging parents or adult kids, without sacrificing the open feel of the main living space. Low-maintenance exterior. And the exterior maintenance gap is real. Wood siding rots, vinyl cracks, stucco chips. Commercial-grade metal siding largely doesn't. You're not just saving money up front, you're buying back your weekends. Acoustics. And despite what people assume about metal buildings, a properly insulated Barndo closed-cell foam plus drywall is genuinely quiet. That thick, sealed envelope blocks outside noise better than the thin fiberglass bats in most standard homes. Now for the part nobody wants to talk about. The biggest obstacle in 2026 isn't the build, it's the red tape. Plenty of suburban counties and HOAs have architectural review boards that restrict or outright ban metal-sided homes, or mandate a traditional pitched shingle roof that defeats the entire point. Building in a highly restricted subdivision without checking first can mean stop work orders and real legal headaches. The rule: build in unincorporated county land or areas with minimal deed restrictions, and call the local planning and zoning office specifically about post-frame metal buildings before you put down a deposit on land. And speaking of land, run the checklist. Does it perk for septic? Is there a reliable water source, or will you be drilling a well that could run $5,000 to $15,000? Is the road access a maintained county road, or a dirt track that turns to mud? Where are the utility easements, and what will it cost to run power and internet to a rural lot? Skip this due diligence, and your cheap piece of land becomes the most expensive part of the project. Because the shell is essentially one open volume before finish work, running conduit for smart lighting, whole home audio, security, and motorized shades is far easier than fishing wire through the tight cavities of a finished traditional home. And that standing seam metal roof is a perfect solar platform, panels clamped directly onto the seams without a single roof penetration. Pair that with the airtight insulation, and a Barndo like this can realistically support a serious solar and battery setup, cutting energy costs or going off-grid entirely far more easily than a traditional build. The barndominium isn't just a trend, it's a shift in what people expect luxury to cost. Not $500 a square foot for wasted hallways and site-built ceilings, but soaring open space, real structural resilience, and money spent on the things that actually change how a home feels to live in. So now that you've seen the real design tricks, the real engineering, and the real numbers behind a build like this, would you trade a traditional mansion for a home like this one? Let me know in the comments, I read every one. If you want to see what a $100,000 tiny home looks like next, click the video on your screen right now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.